All right, let's dive into something that, well, it gets to all of us, right? We're talking about emotional control. We're going to explore how you can actually protect your inner peace and stop letting other people's nonsense dictate your mood.
Think about this for a second. Have you ever had one of those days you're feeling great, everything's going your way, and then, bam, one rude comment, one sharp email, and your whole day just tanks. Suddenly you're replaying it over and over in your head, feeling that burn of anger way after the moment has passed. It's just so frustrating, isn't it?
You know, this quote just nails that feeling of helplessness. It's like you're this little boat and you've handed the steering wheel over to everyone else. But what if you could take it back? What if you could actually learn to hold that rudder steady, no matter how choppy the water gets around you?
To really get how to do this, we're going to look at a pretty simple but really profound story. This is the story of a man named Imran, a man with a boiling heart.
So, let's meet Imran. This guy is constantly on edge. I mean, if his wife forgets the salt, he yells. If a cow wanders into his field by mistake, he just loses it. For him, the problem is always out there. It's everyone else's fault. It's never him.
And this was his go-to line, his justification for everything. What's so wild about this mindset is that he's basically just giving up all of his own power. Imran genuinely believes his anger is the only possible response, and that belief traps him in this endless, exhausting cycle.
But here's the thing, his anger wasn't really affecting the people he was yelling at. Nope, they just moved on with their day. The real victim here? It was him. After every single outburst, he was the one left feeling heavy and tired and just empty. He was literally burning himself out from the inside.
So Imran gets sick of feeling this way and he goes looking for a wise monk, hoping to find some kind of answer. And this is where the story really takes a turn, with the lesson that is just so simple but so powerful.
So the monk doesn't just lecture him, he gives him a live demonstration. He takes this pot of water and boils it until it's just churning like crazy, and then he asks a really simple question. Of course Imran can't see his reflection. How could he? And the monk's point is just crystal clear. When your mind is boiling over with anger, you lose all clarity. You can't see yourself, you can't see the situation clearly, you can't see anything. And this leads us to the core idea of the whole story, catching the dirt. The monk explains that when someone is rude to you, it's like they're throwing a handful of dirt right at you. Now you've got a choice. You can reach out and catch it, letting it get you all messy, or you can just step aside, let it fall to the ground where it belongs. And this really shows the huge difference between a reaction and a response. A reaction, that's just impulse. It's panic. It's like someone hands you a cup of poison and you just drink it without even thinking. But a response? A response is a conscious choice. It's seeing the poison for what it is and saying, you know what? No thanks. That gift of their rudeness stays with them.
Okay, so the idea makes total sense, right? Don't catch the dirt. But how do we actually do that in real life? Well, here's a practical framework we can all use to stop catching that dirt and start protecting our own energy.
So how do we do it? First, actually visualize their negative words as dirt flying past you. Just let it go. Second, create some space with a 10-minute pause. Seriously, this little trick can shift your brain from that knee-jerk reactive mode into a state where you can actually choose your response. Third, and this is a big one, set your boundaries. And finally, learn to embrace silence. When your mind feels all stirred up, just give the sand some time to settle. Silence isn't weakness, it's a shield.
Man, this quote is just so true. Kindness without boundaries is self-destruction. So many of us, right, we feel guilty setting boundaries. But this just reframes it perfectly. Protecting your peace isn't selfish, it's self-preservation. It's absolutely necessary. You can be a kind person and still say no.
So the big question is, did this actually work for Imran? Let's jump back to his story and see what happened when he was really put to the test.
So as Imran started to change, people in the village, they noticed. And a few young guys decided to have some fun. They started mocking him, taunting him, trying to provoke the old Imran to see if they could get a reaction. This was it. This was the ultimate test.
But the old Imran, he was gone. Instead of flying off the handle, he just smiled. And he calmly replied with the monk's own wisdom. He refused to drink their poison. And in that one moment, he took all of his power back.
And this is the huge aha moment for Imran and for all of us. Those guys teasing him, they had no real power. Their only power came from his reaction. The second he chose not to give them one, poof, they were left with absolutely nothing. He had finally learned how to control his own inner world.
So, when you boil it all down, the moral is pretty clear. Life is always going to throw stuff at us. Insults, negativity, bad days. You can't control the wind, but what you can do is learn how to adjust your sails. Your peace and your energy are your most valuable resources, so stop giving them away to people who don't deserve them.
And that really brings us to the final question I want to leave you with. Who or what is holding your remote control? Because after everything we've talked about today, the goal is to realize that the only person who should ever have it is you.